What's up everybody? Welcome back to Taco's virtual mode as we are here for another Talk About It Friday where we get into some really fun questions. I hope you've had a great week and I hope this is going to make your week even better. So stick around for our questions and without further ado, let's get right into it. Here we go! Alright, let's get started with the starter. So friends, last week's starter, if you may remember, was about daylight saving time and how on Sunday we jumped an hour ahead of everything compared to what we are used to. And I talked about how I'm usually not someone who handles that very well and that it takes a while for me to adjust. So today's starter question is going to be a follow-up to that, and it is, have you adjusted to daylight saving time yet? Friends, I can safely say that I have not adjusted yet. I am still where I am in the mood of being an hour behind. Everything feels like it's so fast for me. We get to noon so quickly every day now. I'm trying my best to wake up early and it doesn't really work. But I think the biggest indicator for me is how much coffee I've been drinking. If you know me quite well, you know that I don't usually drink coffee. I'm someone who tends to wake up and have a lot of energy to start the day right away. But since we have started daylight saving time, I would say that I have had coffee every day this week. That is unheard of for me. That is something I never do. I never drink coffee all the time, and I am kind of worried for what this is going to mean for me for the rest of the year. Am I going to become a coffee drinker? Because I certainly don't want to. So my work for this next coming week is to try to wean off the coffee and just have natural energy and get into a rhythm. Because my friends, I have not adjusted quite yet. My hope for you is that you have adjusted a lot better than I have over the course of this week, and that you can adjust as we get into our comical questions. So this first question is one of those, really rhetorical questions, something that we're going to kind of feel out and really be mind-blowing, I feel like. And the question is, which orange came first? The fruit or the color? So with this question, it really can go either way, I feel like. We might think of it in terms of just orange being
orange the color.
Everything that is orange. But when I got to this question, it kind of felt interesting because you could really think of
orange being the object.
And since
the object, the orange, that fruit,
is that color, that certain color, everything else that is that color might just be called what the object is.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
To think about how this object is that color, and that might be the reason why we call everything that looks like that color that object, instead of it being the color side of things. When I dug down deep into answering this question, it kind of freaked me out because then I'm thinking about other colors that are then certain things, or how did we name things, and why is it that way, and it's just always kind of crazy, and it really messes with my brain.
I'm just kind of freaking out now.
But if I'm going to try to keep my sanity, I'm going to say that it is the color, because I don't want to go around thinking everything that is orange is now based off of the object,
The fruit.
So I'm going to,
for my sake,
say that what came first was the color, and therefore that thing that was the color orange is why we call it an orange, and not the other way around, because it messes with my complete way of thinking. Alright friends, let's get away from more of the rhetorical and unanswerable questions that are
mind-boggling,
and get more into a situational thing of what would you do in this situation. So the second question is, at a movie theater, which we haven't been to in a while, but think back to that year where you were able to go to a movie, which armrest is yours? So we all know this classic argument of there being
one arm here and one arm here,
and they're both shared with the two other people that are around you. So if you are sitting next to someone in a movie, say you're at a packed movie or you're at opening night or something, and there are other people that you don't know sitting beside you,
it can get kind of awkward.
have you ever been to the movie where you're ready to put your arm up and then, oh my goodness, there's someone next to you?
and they're putting their arm up too.
And you touch skin and it's just not cool.
And there's also situations where you could be at a movie where both the people on your sides are using the armrest and you're just going to have to
sit there with your arms in and not be comfortable at all.
And it just ruins your movie experience. So friends, I feel like I've devised a solution where we can have kind of an
armrest etiquette
for the movies moving forward. So most times when you go to the movies, you don't just go straight to the movie.
You buy your ticket, you go up to the concession stand, you buy some popcorn and a drink or some candy or something like that.
You definitely have to do that in order to enjoy your movie experience. So then when you come down and you sit in your chair, I would say that the best etiquette to do is whatever side you put your drink or you put your snack in the cup holder,
That is now your armrest.
no one else has the right to use it except for you. But I think it's also important to determine which one you're going to want to use, because if you put your drink in this side,
And then all of a sudden in the middle of the movie you want to use this arm,
you can't put it on this side because you've already claimed this armrest. I think this can be the most economical way to get through a movie and enjoy it and not have to have that awkward moment with the person you were sitting next to and enjoy the movie with claiming your armrest before anybody else does, and then you can have that right. Now this is something I think we should all follow, so the next time you're at a movie, which might not be for a while, but try to take into account armrest etiquette so that we can get through movies without any awkward experiences with those around us. Alright friends, those are your comical questions for today. I hope you enjoyed talking about orange the color or orange the object and what we can do to have proper armrest etiquette next time we are at the movie theaters. But now we're going to dig a little deeper. So now for this final question that we have for this morning, I kind of have some differing things about it. I'm not kind of sure how I necessarily feel or what is something that I do for this question, but without further ado, I don't want to hide it from you. Let's get into what it is. And the question is, do you have a personal motto? So friends, I know people can kind of say things and use it as their personal motto, and typically I'm not someone who does that. I don't kind of live life like going through quotes in my life. I kind of just go with whatever happens in that day and kind of adjust with it. I don't follow something that is my personal motto. But I do kind of have a statement that I like to live by. I don't use it every day. It's not something I wake up and say, this is how I'm going to live. But it is something that I do have on my Facebook page. So if you were to go to my Facebook, you would see in my bio, I have this sentence, which is, the key to a great pencil is having a good eraser. This is something I typed up a long time ago, and it really was simply about having a good eraser on a pencil. Because I'm very particular when it comes to pencils. I need to have a really good eraser. We all know that if we're using pencils and they have bad erasers, that it's not going to go well. It's going to smudge, and you can't clear up your mistakes. And I guess you can kind of take that and use it as a life motto, and I guess I kind of think of it in that light in some ways too. So in order to move on from some things, you need to have kind of a good eraser, or kind of a good concept of forgiveness to live by. And I think in this sentence, part of that, having a good eraser for a great pencil is kind of making it like, if you have a good way of forgiving people, you're going to live a better life. And so I would say that for me, that is a really good way to live, and a really good way to kind of feel out what you're doing with your life and how to approach situations in which you really do need to have that good eraser. So it can either be meant in the sense of, yes, the key to a great pencil is having a good eraser, because it really is true. You need a good eraser for a good pencil. But I also think it can be talked about in the light of like how you approach things where you can either forgive people, or things that you just need to kind of let go from yourself, or things that you found embarrassing about yourself that are changed in you. And it's always kind of about evolving and being a better person and changing. So you can get metaphoric with it like that, and I think it's something that I can use in my daily life if I really start to think about it and how I can forgive people. So if you guys have a personal motto that you like to follow, or that you do have, I would be open to hearing what it is, and I would like you to share it with me so that we can kind of talk through what that might mean for you. And if you have any thoughts on what I would say about having a good pencil and meaning how to have a good way of living, come at me with those questions, and I would love to have that chat with you. But for now, I think that is how we're going to wrap up today. I think that we've talked enough, and we've had some really good conversation. I hope that you guys can use this conversation to talk with your families and with your friends and bring up some good conversation for your Friday and into this weekend. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up today. I hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday when I send you guys some motivation. And until then, I'll see you later. So have a good one, everybody.